Residents who have a hard time affording basic pet services will now be able to take their dogs and cats to a new nonprofit clinic in Marion County. TV 20's Bert Sharon tells us why the ultimate goal of the clinic is to help reduce the animal population.
After several $1 million of investments and a year in development, Marion County's Humane Society's new low-cost vet clinic will have a ribbon-cutting ceremony tomorrow.
So this is going to be our new clinic here at the Humane Society of Marion County. It's a 5,700 square foot state-of-the-art facility. It'll be a great opportunity for the Humane Society and the first time that we've actually treated public animals.
From surgical areas to a state-of-the-art kitchen to cat rooming facilities, the new clinic has it all, but it doesn't stop there.
One of the unique features of this facility is what they call a VTS AC system, which is 100% airflow with the outside that prevents air from flowing from one part of the facility to another and thus preventing disease from spreading to other animals from one.
We will be bringing in some of the very best equipment we can afford. We anticipate having laser surgery here that we can provide for animals. We have digital x-ray. We're in the process of obtaining ultrasound equipment.
Donors are helping to lower the cost to consumers for basic services like spaying and neutering and wellness services.
And we also heavily campaign for what we call the Angel Fund. So we have donors that contribute money so that we're able to facilitate surgeries that people don't necessarily have the funds to pay for.
The clinic will be open in June and will be open Mondays through Fridays from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. In Ocala, Bert Sharon, TV 20 News.